Hey guys, this is Tim
Priscilla.
and we are the
Buck Gang.
Bug Bug Gang, guys. And again, we're back with another video, guys. And today's topic will be about first time meeting each other parents, guys. So as it for me, of course, it's just my mother, and of course my sisters and everybody else. But for her, she had her mom and dad, so it was pretty, cool.
Yeah, for sure. I tell you, I feel like everybody has their own, impressions of each other's parents when you first meet. So, do you want to start it off, or do you want me to go first? What do you prefer?
It don't matter. I went first last time, so yeah, you can go first.
Okay.
This time.
First time meeting. I tell you guys, let's talk 9, 10 years ago.
Right. You gotta have good memory for this.
Yeah, and just I remember really being nervous. Because it's like meeting a parent. You're like, oh my gosh, are they gonna like me? Are they gonna, am I gonna be able to conversate with them? And it's easy going. And I just remember, meeting his mom, and of course, she's a spitting image of him. They look almost identical. Very sweet, definitely God fearing. And like you said, his sisters were there. And of course his brother was there, and I felt very comfortable. It wasn't too hard to get along with them or to feel comfortable to talk about this, talk about that. They definitely were very comforting. So with his mom, there were certain things because, like you said, she has her certain ways, and they all hold her to the highest and respect her.
For sure.
And there were certain words that she felt that were disrespectful.
I'm telling you guys, my mom was very old school, guys.
For sure. And it didn't matter who it was.
Yeah.
Everybody was supposed to respect her.
Yeah.
And that's how I expect it as well. When I get to there, and with my sons, I don't care who you bring in. I expect you to respect me, and they respect me as well. So
Yeah.
there was a certain variety of words to where if you would say them, everybody would look at you like, oh,
What?
you said that in front of
Did you
mama.
just say that?
And they would say it to me, like they would look at me, Scylla,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm like, what? I'm like, what happened? Because my parents, they, like I said, they were a little bit, not as caring. No, I wouldn't want to say not as caring,
Yeah.
but it wasn't as, I don't know how to say it. What would you say?
Like I guess strict in a way,
There
but
you go. Yeah.
but again, it was like I said, my mom was very old school, so it was words like lie.
Yeah, lie. Don't
like
say
we couldn't
lie.
like lie in our house was like a cuss word. Like we
Yeah.
had to tell you telling a story.
You're telling a story.
And I,
is the
and I
word.
know I met a bunch of people that's
Yeah,
like
a lot of
old
people
school
have.
back in the day. Like I remember
Yeah.
meeting people
Or-
that go through that
for
went
sure.
through the same thing. I'm like,
Mhm.
but it's more of an old school thing too.
Yeah. Even there was but,
But we can say but.
dang.
I feel like booty sound better than worse than but like I said, that just we can say that or dang like dang.
Mhm,
What?
And I came in, and like I said, it was comfortable.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
even when they would look at me and be like, Scylla, or I would get like the eye from his mom, I never felt like, oh, you messed up and then there's no forgiveness.
yeah.
No, it wasn't like that. It was more so like humor.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was a loving thing. It wasn't ever like, okay, that's strike one, you got three and you're out. No.
Yeah.
But
No,
it was definitely
something to learn.
something to learn for sure. And even myself, like now, like with my own kids, I don't like them to say but and dang and
Yeah.
hate. That's another word I really don't like to be used in my house.
Yeah.
So I can only respect that.
No, for sure.
But other than that, I mean, it was really a good relationship.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't have anything bad to say about the first time meeting or now even.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was just easy going
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
You
No, that's
know.
dope. That's dope. That's real dope. The first time I met her parents, I can say I was nervous and I felt like I was about to fall out. Like because like on the outside looking in, she said that they live the life that they live and
Mhm.
everything. But on the outside looking in, I'm like top tier. Like her family is perfect. Like because you know social media can show you a different life. But I'm like that man. Her family is perfect, and because she was
Mhm.
perfect to me, and
Mhm.
I claimed her way before, we even talked. I seen her on Facebook and I was already like, that's my wife, guys. Like I was all into her. So yeah, but the first time I met her parents, like I gotta say I was pretty nervous because the first the first week that we ever knew each other, we took off to San Antonio. Like
Yeah.
we met her grandmother like the third day, that we met each other.
Mhm.
And then her dad found out that she went with this random guy. So it was crazy. And then we built connection. And right after that, she moved in. Like it was fast, guys. When we first got
Mhm.
together, it was super fast. And I told her when we get back, I'm like, you can move in with me. So like straight up, she was like all into it, and she had her daughter at the time. Also, she was 6 months,
Mhm.
and it was like crazy to me. And I was like, and she was with it, and like she was into
Mhm.
it, like she was ready for it. So when we got back from San Antonio, she was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but you're gonna have to come over and meet my parents, have me get my stuff and everything. I'm like, what? This the wrong way to meet someone's parents, right? So I walk in the house and I see her dad sitting on the couch, and he had a Four Loco. And I was like, oh shit, like it's about to be cool, like. But I was real, like, still, like, not knowing what to expect. So I came in, he was cool, he was sitting there, he wasn't trying to acknowledge me as much. He shook my hand, and that was pretty much it. Like that's like a moment with him and with her mom. Me trying to be nice to her, I'm thinking like, okay, let me bring a bottle of liquor, right? Not knowing that that was full like alcoholics. I'm not saying like it was a bad thing or whatever, but not knowing that, dang, her dad was gonna look at me like, dang, because when her mom get drunk, she get,
Yeah,
you
my
know,
mom is definitely, when she would get, drunk and all that back then, she was an emotional drinker, so she was very emotional, the mad and the sad and, the turning up crazy. That,
Yeah.
yeah, that was
So
an
I didn't know
emotional.
that, guys. I bring a bottle of liquor, like a bottle of like some cheap Amsterdam liquor,
Mhm.
and I give it to her mom, and I'm like, and her dad look at me
Like you done messed up.
like, why did you do that? So that was like, you want to play like dominoes, cards, or something like that. We started playing this game, and her mom was drinking and everything. Right before we leave, she looking like with this look in her eyes, looking at me like you better not hurt her, like. And I'm looking at her like I would never. I love her. It's been like 5 days. I'm like,
Right?
I love her. Like I would never. But still, like I feel like connection, like right off a connection right off the top, guys, because like
Yeah.
it don't take a lot for me. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I was in love, and I loved her from jump. Just by her personality and what I wanted, and like I had my child, and she had a child, and I'm like,
Mhm.
we both was looking for the same thing. We weren't trying to like, what I'm saying, like repeat itself, baby
For
daddy, baby
sure.
mama, baby
For
dad. We're
sure.
not trying to do that. We was trying to settle down, get married,
Mhm.
and we both was on the same page with that. But her mom was looking at me like, you better not hurt her. And she like whispered in my ear, and she was like, it was crazy. I'm like, and I know she was drunk too, so I'm like, is this how she gonna be like every time? So after that, I'm leaving and we getting her stuff, and you know, her brother, cool, cool,
Mhm.
cool dude, came up to me, shook my hand, and he was more like a father figure. Like he shook my hand like with a stern shake, like Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I know you strong, nigga. Like, all right, cool. Like, but he was like, yeah, you know, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was chilling. Like, he gave me a little
Yeah.
speech or whatever. And I was like, no, like, everything was good. And, you know, so we left. And after that, it was like, I still didn't have a relationship with her parents or her dad at all until months later when we was going
Yeah.
through our bad situations. She was like, we was about to separate and everything like that. And I'm like, I can't give up. You know what I'm saying? So I remember calling her dad and explaining and crying to him. Like months later,
Mhm.
I'm like, I love her. I don't want to, mess this up and everything like that. Ever since then, like he called me over to their house, and ever since then, man, we had a connection out this world. Like it did a 180. Like once he figured it out and found out how much I loved his daughter, I feel like that would gave him the like go time because who she was with before me, it was like they didn't like him. He didn't treat her right. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It was rude and everything like that. Like they didn't like him. From what I heard.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
her dad was like, I never heard someone talk about my daughter like this, and
Yeah.
wanting to marry her and things like this so fast. And he was like
Mhm.
all into me, and that was the best moment of my life. And she
Mhm.
came home. She came back over her mom house, and she seen me there, and she like, what is you doing here? And her dad like defended me and was like, give him a chance, like talk to him and everything like
Mhm.
that. And from that point on, it was like her mom and her dad was crying in the room. They loved me. It was lovely
Mhm.
after that, man. Still talked after that. It was good. Like I remember like moments like that, like with her parents. Like of course, they was drinking and doing a thing. I remember even going on routes with her dad to like do drop offs. Like this man was a money, like a go getter. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I'm like, bro, a hustler. Like, will
Yeah, he
get to
definitely showed you a different
get
lifestyle.
will get to the money fast. And I'm like, bro, like, and he would break off bread and was like, you can work with me.
Mhm.
And he
Mhm.
did construction. Like, man, I'm like fast money. And I was like, oh yeah, like I'm home. Like I was
Yeah.
home, and I never judged them at all for drinking or doing what they
Mhm.
was doing.
Yeah,
I
and you
just
never had your dad in your
and
life.
I
He
never had
he's
I
never
never had
had
my dad in my
her
life,
father
so
figure.
so he was a big father figure to me.
Mhm.
Even though it was like to some people like what like
Mhm.
like like it wasn't like that with me. Like honestly, I felt like home, and I felt so loved, bro.
Mhm.
It just like it was like there, like it was just
Yeah.
perfect. And then like he offered his home to us, and we were
Mhm.
staying with them at the beginning, and that was dealing with my situation with my daughter and everything, and letting her come over and helping out with that situation. Like I had nothing but love for her family from that point on. Like
Yeah, I
and
definitely feel like my family is definitely a very unique breed.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
there's not many like my family.
yeah.
You
No
know.
facts. Like I said, like if you look past the drinking and stuff like that, she had one of the best loving families ever. And that's just the mom and dad. Don't let me get on like the Thea, the
Mhm.
Theo, the cousins, the
Grandmas.
grandmas. She got a dope
Mhm.
family, like a
Yeah.
super dope family, man. I felt home. Everybody was
Mhm.
like down to earth, like my family, like cool. Like you can cuss around her family, like for my mom, like we didn't play like we was Christians, and my mom was
we
trying.
we had we always were God fearing.
Yeah.
But the devil, he always plays his tricks.
No, facts.
And what your parents allow you to do, will happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like you said, your mom was more strict
She
and
was
more
more
on
strict.
it.
She was more strict, and it was she didn't play like certain things, but other families was different, right? And every time, like, of course, like I show super. That's why like a lot of people love me because even if I got the it took me forever to still cuss in front of her dad and her mom. It took me forever to do that, but I seen everybody else doing it. I'm like, okay, I'm cool. Like, and then they would even make jokes and cussing and stuff like that. So then I started like, okay, cool,
Mhm.
man, man, the coolest the coolest mom, dad that you can have. I told Scylla, like, bro, what? Like, man, like, you gotta, man, I remember moments. I remember moments where we sitting making sounds and we playing games together.
Mhm.
And it reminded me of my family. And it was like, what? Like, we had parties, charades, drums, music, and things that I'm like all into. You know what I'm saying? So I was in love from jump. You know, I
For
already
sure.
loved Scylla when I met her
Mhm.
family. Even brought me closer to her, and I was
Mhm.
like, this is what I want. You know, this is
Yeah.
exactly what I want, man.
For sure.
And even saying moments like I remember one moment her dad and her mom was drinking, and we was all drinking or whatever. And her mom, of course, when she get drunk, she didn't play with him like she felt like I guess he was doing too much or whatever. I remember sitting on the couch and just looking from the kitchen, she dragging him all the way into the room, and it's
By his
hardwood,
feet.
it's hardwood floor, guys. So he just looking at me like, "Hey, yeah, don't worry about me," and I'm looking at him like, and I'm laughing, I'm smiling because he laughing and joking, but she like, I'm like, what is going on? So it was funny, man. It was like I never judged them for that. It made me even love them even more because it was just like they was still they self around me. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
Yeah.
it was cool from that point on, like with her family. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Especially
Yeah.
her mom and her dad. And her dad, he will always be one of my number ones. You know,
For
because
sure.
he showed me so many things my dad never taught me, never showed me. Like he showed
Mhm.
me how to do so much work on cars, freaking construction, build a freaking house if I want to with him beside me, man.
Mhm.
Like I'm so serious, man. Like I respect that man to the fullest, you know. But
Yeah, for sure. And,
that's
and also, like as far as with your mom, I would say definitely like, she can have her days to where like that one incident when I think it was her birthday
hmm
and she was just like, I want to drink a beer. She
yeah.
wanted to drink a beer. You
Yeah.
remember that one time?
Yeah, mama once in a blue moon,
Yeah.
mama get like, in moments to where she like, you know what? Let me have fun today. Let me surprise my kids because mama like
That's like a,
she's
oh my
God
gosh, we're
fan
turning
strict,
up.
So once in a blue moon, she have her moments where she like,
Hmm.
all right, I'm gonna have me a beer. So, and we like, and we looking at mama like, hey, she's just sipping. Don't do too much. Like you about to be on the floor,
No, I tell you,
but
next thing you know, the Soul
dancing.
Train will be going
That I'm
down.
talking about turning it up, like she had her fun moments
For
with it and
sure.
without it also. But I
Yeah.
remember Scylla first seeing that moment, and we see it
Uh-huh.
like throughout my childhood.
Hmm.
Once in a blue moon, mama, a turn up like that,
Hmm.
and it
For
was
sure.
like what, like it was different for us,
Yeah, and it's
So
always a turn up, like
yeah,
especially with his sisters
we
and
Dominoes. I can, bro. I'm far away from them now, but
Mhm.
man, if I was in the same city, boom, let's
For
play some
sure.
dominoes. Like we was the king like a dominoes. We had dominoes tournament, talking
Hmm.
shit. Like it was pretty cool, But both sides of our families is really dope, man. That's
Hmm.
again, that's what brought us even more closer because of my family. I hate our families not like this. The devil ever since COVID came, it felt like the
Hmm.
devil was kind of like it kind of like made everybody go in their own lanes in a way,
Yeah.
like
Well, and also I feel like everybody had their own problems.
yeah, everybody
Everybody had their own
had dealing
problems.
with a lot of issues and drama and marriage, man. Like if
Hmm.
you don't live it the right way, it will come up
For
and
sure.
it will kind of like bite you in the ass,
For
and,
sure, you
and I
guys.
feel like with my family, they was going through a lot of things at that time,
Hmm.
and when we moved to San Antonio, it was like excluded from a lot of things,
Hmm.
and we kind of like built our own little family base,
Hmm.
and Scylla was getting pregnant. She had baby after baby after baby, so it
Hmm.
was like super busy,
Yeah,
but
for
that's
sure.
that's a little bit about our first time meeting,
Hmm.
our parents and a couple of moments that we had with
Hmm.
our parents, and it was a great moment. So Hope
Most
you guys like this
definitely.
video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and
Yes, you guys, and follow our podcast
follow
on
our
Spotify.
podcast. And yeah, click on that link and yeah, subscribe. All right, guys.